The weeks after the royal wedding were turbulent for the monarchy. The excitement of the celebrations quickly faded, replaced by a sense of unease within the palace walls. The royal family, so used to managing their affairs behind closed doors, suddenly found themselves at the centre of a media storm. The Queen hoped Meghan would see the wisdom in this approach. A trip to Mexico, she believed, could end the media storm and allow the family to regain control of the narrative, restoring some much-needed peace. Meghan listened to the Queen's advice but firmly disagreed. She told the Queen that visiting her father in Mexico would only fuel the media frenzy. Meghan imagined a chaotic scene, with paparazzi turning a private meeting into a public spectacle. Some felt she was avoiding a difficult confrontation with her father. Critics saw it as Meghan's unwillingness to face her family history. Meghan and Harry favoured a managed, distant approach, blaming the media for the crisis. The Queen and her advisers believed in direct intervention. This difference in strategy revealed a growing gap between the Sussexes and the rest of the royal family. The disagreement would only deepen in the years to come. The drama began well before the highly anticipated royal wedding in 2018, a time when the world's eyes were fixed on London and the British royal family. Paparazzi began to hound him, capturing unflattering and intrusive images that quickly fueled a wave of negative press coverage, painting him in an unfavourable light. The staged photos depicted him preparing for the wedding, reading up on royal etiquette, and even getting fitted for a suit. But instead of helping, the plan spectacularly backfired. Just days before the wedding, the truth behind the photos was exposed by the press, igniting a media firestorm. Security footage surfaced, revealing the orchestration behind the scenes, and the story quickly escalated into a full-blown scandal. Thomas admitted he had been paid for the photos, a confession that severely damaged his credibility and deeply strained his relationship with Meghan. The palace viewed this as a profound betrayal, seeing it as both a personal and public relations disaster that threatened the dignity of the royal family. Thomas claimed he acted out of desperation and naivety, insisting he never intended harm, but his actions were widely seen as a serious breach of trust. In the end, he had misled not only Meghan and Harry, but also the public, shattering the fragile trust between father and daughter. As a result, Thomas would never meet his grandchildren, a heartbreaking consequence of his actions. The sense of betrayal was immense for both Meghan and the palace, leaving wounds that would take years to mend, if ever. The damage was done, and the consequences would be lasting, echoing through the family and the public eye for a long time. After the photo scandal erupted, Thomas Markle's health took a dramatic turn for the worse. The stress and public scrutiny weighed heavily on him, leading to a rapid decline in his well-being. The world watched in anticipation and sympathy as Meghan walked down the aisle without her father by her side, a poignant image that resonated with millions. In heartfelt interviews, Thomas expressed deep regret and sorrow, publicly apologizing to Meghan and Harry for the pain he had caused. Alone in Mexico, he watched the wedding unfold on television, his heart filled with both sorrow for his absence and pride in his daughter's happiness. The image of Meghan walking alone, even for a few steps, became a powerful symbol of the deep divide and emotional distance within the family. For Thomas, the day was bittersweet. His pride in Meghan's achievements was overshadowed by overwhelming regret and a sense of loss. His ongoing health crisis, combined with the relentless public shame, created a barrier between father and daughter that seemed almost insurmountable. The wedding, intended to unite two families and celebrate love, instead marked a moment of permanent separation and lingering sadness. The dream of a proud father walking his daughter down the aisle was replaced by a very public nightmare. played out in front of the world's media. The family's pain and private struggles were on display for the world to see, magnified by constant media attention and speculation. The chasm between father and daughter, once just a rift, now seemed unbridgeable, a lasting reminder of how public scrutiny can deepen personal wounds. Prince Harry watched the unfolding drama with growing frustration. In his memoir, he described frantic efforts to help Thomas, sending staff to Mexico and urging him to avoid the press. Harry felt his warnings were ignored as Thomas continued to speak to the media. The prince saw this as a betrayal, blaming the relentless tabloid intrusion. Text messages showed Harry's desperation to protect Thomas and the family. The crisis, in Harry's eyes, was manufactured by the media. This experience deepened Harry's mistrust of the press and his resolve to protect his own family. The ordeal solidified his belief that the media was a destructive force. After the wedding, hopes for reconciliation faded. Thomas Markle began a series of paid interviews revealing private details and criticizing the royal family. Each interview fueled the public spectacle, making resolution impossible. He pleaded with Meghan publicly, sometimes sounding heartbroken, other times angry. His approach only pushed Meghan further away. Meghan and Harry saw his media engagement as a constant betrayal. Meghan's half-sister Samantha joined the public criticism, intensifying the drama. Thomas even released parts of a private letter from Meghan, leading to a major lawsuit. The ongoing conflict created a damaging narrative that Meghan had abandoned her father. The more Thomas spoke, the deeper the wound became. The path to reconciliation was destroyed, headline by headline. Before the scandals, Meghan and her father shared a close bond. Thomas introduced Meghan to Hollywood, supporting her dreams and education. He was her mentor and biggest supporter, helping her find her identity. Childhood photos show a happy, loving relationship. Meghan once called him the most hard-working, inspiring father. The current rift stands in stark contrast to their earlier closeness. The breakdown represents a profound loss for both. The love that once defined them is now buried under public pain. The conflict left lasting damage far beyond Meghan and her father. Thomas remains estranged, never meeting his grandchildren. For Meghan and Harry, the saga was a brutal introduction to royal life and the press. It influenced their decision to step back from royal duties. The royal family faced ongoing negative publicity and internal tension. The crisis exposed the challenges of managing private lives in the public eye. Ultimately, it's a modern tragedy. Love and trust lost under global scrutiny. The event set a course of broken relationships and an unending rift.